Hi, Payal. I'm very happy to see that you've written another essay. This time it's a letter. Let's see what you had to say here. Okay, the topic is the English and Homestay program. There are several things you have to do in this letter, so let's see how you did them. Okay, so, dear Mr. and Mrs. Simpson, I am Shreya from India, have recently received details of my English and Homestay program in the UK. All right, let's start right there. I'm very happy that you started your letter with an introduction. That's appropriate, okay? It's important that we start our letters expressing the reason for our writing. However, there are a couple of problems with the way you did it, so I want to fix that a little bit if I can. I am 22 and stay with my family in New Delhi. Okay, so the way you want to do this is you want to expressly detail why you're writing. Okay, so for me, a more appropriate beginning here would be, Dear Mr. and Mrs. Simpson, I am writing regarding the English and Homestay program, which has selected you as my host family for my stay in India. Okay, so you start with that. That's the reason why you're writing the English and Homestay program. And then you can introduce yourself. So I would have then taken this sentence and connected it with this one. So it would then say, I am Shreya from India. I am 22 and I live with my family. You don't stay with your family. The difference is that stay implies something temporary, but live is, well, you live there all the time. That's your home. Okay? And I live with my family in New Delhi. All right, that's an introduction. Let's see. Firstly, I would like to thank you for agreeing to host me, and I am fascinated to have you as my mentor during the program. Okay, I'm glad that you thanked them. That's very nice. That's good. Fascinated is the wrong word here. You are grateful. You are excited. You are, let's see, grateful is the first thing. Enthusiastic also. Yeah, I think those are probably the best words here. Okay, it is a great opportunity for me to enhance my understanding of your traditions and way of life. Lovely. As I have never been to the UK, I'm not familiar with the weather over there. Could you please suggest me on what clothes I should bring with me? Okay, suggest is a tricky word. There are a couple of different grammatical structures that it can take. But the way you did this is not correct, so let's fix it. Could you please suggest what clothes I should bring with me? Okay, so suggest what clothes, not suggest me. That's one way you could have done it. There are other ways as well. Notice what I did. I changed the word order here because this is already doing the job of the question. All right, your question is happening here with the could you please suggest. So this needs to be in sentence form. So it should read, could you please suggest what clothes I should bring with me? Actually, what would be an even better word than suggest here is recommend. Okay, because essentially that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a recommendation. Apart from this, I would also need your advice regarding the belongings that I must carry to your house. You know what you could have done here? You could have developed this a little more. All right, because reading this letter, I might be thinking that you're referring to, I don't know, sheets and towels, but you might actually be referring to, well, do I need to bring my curling iron or my hair dryer? So you could develop it a little more, provide some details rather than just sticking straight to the question and nothing else, okay? This, of course, will affect your task achievement score. They do expect you to supply details. They do expect you to supply some additional information beyond just what is written in the bullets, okay? All right, finally, I would appreciate if you could tell me what books I should read. All right, again, there's no reason to use question form here. No comma as well. That might help me to understand more about the UK culture. All right, fine. So you've done this, you've given 3 questions. Yeah, you've asked about 3 different things, and that's appropriate. That's very good. I did just want you to develop it just a tiny bit more, okay? I want to notify you that I will reach the UK, not in the UK. I will reach the UK on 20th of September, Friday at 10:30 a.m. if my flight has no delay. I look forward to meeting you soon. Regards, Shreya. Okay, so fine. You had an appropriate opening. All right, you had an appropriate closing. This also, very appropriate. I look forward to meeting you soon. You did everything you're supposed to do. So, for task achievement, as well as for coherence and cohesion, the fact that you had the correct paragraphing, you had the correct opening, the correct closing, and all of that, that's good. You also covered each of the bullets correctly, okay? You introduced yourself, you thanked them, you asked them for some information that was appropriate, and you also informed them about your arrival. So all of that was really quite correct. The grammar was, for the most part, good. You did have some trouble with these indirect questions. My suggestion to you would be to review indirect questions. Remember that in these essays, these formal letters, we use indirect questions. They're more polite than just like a direct question. But you have to remember that they actually use sentence form. So please do review some rules about that. If there was one word I didn't really like, it was this one, I want. All right, everywhere else you were very formal, very appropriately formal since you don't know these people. Could you and would you and I would like and if you could, all that was all very appropriate. This was a slight dip in that appropriateness of register. So rather than I want to inform you is I would like to inform you or I would like to notify you. That's really what you want here. Okay, and then the last thing just to recap is I wanted you to change these first couple of sentences a little bit. I already told you how what I think a more appropriate sentence order would be to make it flow a little better. And again, when I talk about flow, we're really talking about things that affect your coherence and cohesion score. It's how the sentences are linked together, how the ideas are linked together. So that's what would be affected here. All right, so that brings us to the end of this. It's a nice attempt overall. There are some things that you could improve to definitely solidify a higher level IELTS score, but you're on the right track here. Good job. I hope I get to see more of your essays in the near future.